What's up, Night Owl? Steely here, back with another video, and today we're talking about D&D. What else is there? So there's a phrase that gets passed around a lot on forums and at gaming tables and just around the D&D community, and that's that D&D is not a video game. And obviously there is a ton to unpack from that statement. D&D is not a video game. Well, I mean, obviously it's not a video game, it's a tabletop game. So what do people mean when they say D&D isn't a video game? So in this video, I would like to address some of the points that get brought up and sort of the gatekeeping and the criticism that comes up when people use that phrase, and sort of a counter argument to D&D is not a video game. And in a lot of ways, it may be. Now, whether you're in the boat that D&D is not a video game or that it doesn't matter or that it is a video game, there is one thing that we should probably establish as common ground. With any debate, whether you lean one side or the other, we need to find common ground. Whether you agree with what I'm going to say or the points that I make in this video or the points that people make when they gatekeep or criticize, common ground needs to be found before we establish anything. We also need to understand each other's point of view, or rather the people who make these claims' point of view. So as far as common ground goes, I think we can all agree that there's more than one way to play D&D. And we may be able to go so far as to say there's no wrong way to play D&D. It would be equally difficult for me to go to some home game that somebody's playing where they play a hack and slash dungeon crawl version of D&D with no role play and tell them that they're playing the game wrong, as it would be for me to go to Critical Role and tell Matthew Mercer he's playing D&D wrong. And when you think about it, who can tell you whether or not the way you play D&D is right or wrong? Even the rules themselves say that these rules are just suggestions and you can swap them out on a whim. And if you've ever used a homebrew rule of any kind, then you agree that some rules are just not fun and need to be taken out or changed. And the criticism that video games receive when they're being compared to D&D is that video games can't tell a great story because by design there's only a limited amount of outcomes. So you're playing the game that the video game designers created for you, and you're following almost like a railroad D&D game. My biggest issue with this argument, aside from this is the way D&D is meant to be played, is that you're trying to compare a free-form system like D&D, which we've already established there's no right or wrong way to play, and you're trying to hold it up against video games as a whole, when even video games can't really be compared to each other. Like, you couldn't compare Minecraft to Final Fantasy or Call of Duty. These are all wildly different games with wildly different aspects that make them fun. And D&D is no exception. I bring this up not to criticize people that role play or tell stories. Believe me, that's what I love about Dungeons & Dragons. But I also appreciate video games and the fun that can be had from them. And I use that fun that I get from video games, and I try to incorporate that in my own D&D games. And more to the point about D&D being about the role play and the storytelling than it is about the character sheet and the min-maxing. Keep in mind that the first iteration of D&D was a tactical miniature battle simulator with no role play. Which brings me to my counter argument. Killing stuff, collecting loot, and leveling up is fun. And I think that the most important thing that I would like you watching to take away from this video is to not let anybody tell you how to have fun in anything, not just D&D. If something's fun for you, don't let anybody change that. Don't let anybody take that away. When I first learned to play D&D, I spent a long time trying to run the game and play the game how people were telling me the game was supposed to be. And when I wasn't having fun, I kind of looked at it like maybe I was wrong, like I should be having fun this particular way. And it wasn't until I started questioning those aspects of the game that I was playing and the game that I was running and the things that I didn't find fun about it that I sort of grew as a DM and became better, at least in my opinion. And that's the main thing that I want you to take away from this video. Find the games that you like. Find the DMs that you like. What do you not like about their games? What do you like about them? Take what you like, get rid of what you don't. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. That's why I run so many different people in the Discord, and I cycle out new players all the time, and I try new modules, and I try new rules and new homebrews. And I just want to experience all of it. I play with different DMs. I want to see every aspect. I want to take away the things that I like and scrap the things that I don't, and just learn from it. Watch those D&D streams, play with new people, play with new DMs. Take it all in. That is the best way to really refine, in my opinion, your DMing and your playing of Dungeons and Dragons. I hope you enjoyed the video. This has been something that's been on my mind for a long time that I've wanted to make a video about. And if you have anything that you would like to add on to it, make sure you do that in the comments down below. Any kind of criticisms you have for me, you can let me know that D&D is not a video game and that I'm very wrong. You can tell me the video games that you love and the things that you take away from the video games that you like to incorporate in your D&D games. Let me know down there. If you want to be a part of this D&D community, make sure you join the Discord. Link is in the description. Come by, ask questions, let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you at sundown.